Hi there, this is the thing about Tempus AI. Market cap right now is about $10 billion, right? And the price, $58 per share. Now, what's important to understand about this company is if it's a great investment in the long term. If the price goes up 2x, 5x, 10x, right? And the answer, you'll find the real answer in this box. So during this video, I'll open the box and I'll find the answer, whether Tempus AI is a great investment or not. First, let's analyze their business and their opportunities, right? If you look at the revenue over the last 3 years, an amazing growth rate from 300 million in 2022 to over 1.2 billion, which is expected to be delivered in 2025, this year. So you can see a huge increase. 300 million, 500 million, close to 700 million, and then over 1.2 billion. And you also have to be aware that Tempus acquired the company Ambry, which will add 300 million. And that's why you see this huge increase from 700 million to over 1.2 billion. However, even if you remove this acquisition, Ambry, still the growth rate is amazing. By the way, they pay for this company, Ambry Genetics, 600 million. So it's a good price. It's a good price for the moment. Then you also have to look at the earnings, if they're able to make some profits on this revenue. For 2022, close to 300 million in losses. They have reduced a little in 2023. And then, because also they've done some acquisitions, a huge loss over 700 million on 700 million revenue. Now, for 2025, they expect their EBITDA to be about 5 million. This means their final earnings will be lower than 700 million. And that's a plus. That's quite a plus. Now, you also have to look at the balance sheet. You have to see that they have 300 million in cash and 800 million in debt. So their balance sheet has no value for the moment. Because if you look at the market cap, it's 10 billion. So what matters is their future growth rate in their revenue from 1.2 billion to more billions and to become profitable, to maintain the position. And to understand this, if they can increase the revenue and earnings, you have to look at their business. What do they do? Ask that question. What do they do? Well, they offer genomics services, diagnostics to healthcare companies, plus data services. These are the segments. Now, you have to understand Tempus AI because you see here, AI. What does it mean? Well, they offer their own proprietary model, AI, Tempus 1, and of course they developed other models. They have different names, but I say Tempus 1 for the moment, or Tempus AI. You have to understand what's their advantage, because if you look at their press releases, you see that they sign a new contract of about 200 million over the next 3 years with AstraZeneca and Pedos to develop a new model for oncology, multi-model oncology model, which will help them to offer more services to healthcare companies and increase their revenue and hope their earnings. So this is a plus, quite a plus. Now, you have to understand what's their advantage, what's their edge, why they're able, if they're able to be a leader in this industry, healthcare industry, to be the king. And if they can do that, for sure, the revenue and earnings will improve, because right now they have 1 billion, right? 1 billion in revenue. And if you look at the entire industry for healthcare, over 100 billion. Especially if AI does all the work. They can increase the revenue more than 10x in the next 5 to 10 years. This is possible. I mean, they have room to grow. And especially if there is a bull market, they have more advantages. The price will go up, and so the market cap. Now, you also have to understand one thing. What's their edge? Because they also have competition. And from what I've understood from this company, their edge is their massive data library they accumulated through partnerships with other healthcare companies. And what do? They feed, this model, they feed this data to their model, Tempus AI, Tempus 1, their proprietary model. And the more data they feed to this model, the better it gets. And by the way, to train this model, it requires a lot of resources. That's why they use public cloud resources. They don't have, their report, they don't mention that they have their own data centers. So it's likely that they rent these resources from cloud providers such as AWS, Amazon, Azure, and Google, or Oracle. So this is a cost. The more data they feed to this model, the more resources it will require. So you have to be aware of those costs. Because if they want to develop their own data centers, they have to invest at least 10 to 100 billion. So for the moment, they take advantage of those public resources. Now, my problem with this company, is the competition. Because all their business depends on their model, proprietary model, AI model. If this model gets better, yes, they'll continue to make more money. But better, be aware of this, better than all the other models. Now, they focus on a niche, healthcare. They offer, they accumulated their own data library, and this is an advantage. This is their advantage. But what happens if their model doesn't perform as expected or below the competition? For instance, what if other healthcare companies, right, use Grok, ChatGPT to develop their own model? They just adjust those major models, feed with their own library, data library, because also other healthcare companies have their own data. And what if they come up with a service that's about the same as Tempus 1? Or even better, because those general models can become even better. For sure, they'll become even better because they invest a lot in resources, get better and better. So if other healthcare companies form some partnerships, feed this data into those major models, AI models, that will become a problem for Tempus 1, Tempus AI. So competition here is a major risk, because yes, you invest in this company, they have a lot of room to grow. For sure, they'll continue to grow through acquisitions or partnerships. But be aware that Tempus 1, the Tempus AI proprietary model, will require more resources to get better and better, because if they don't invest in developing it, they will fall behind those general purpose models. And other healthcare companies can take advantage. Just use Grok, feed their own data, and in just a few months, they have their own services. They can offer their own diagnostics. And this is the major risk I see with this company, Tempus AI. Plus, you also have to be aware that they announced some convertible notes and the number of shares likely to increase more in the future. Be aware of this. Be aware of this. From 172 million, you might see over 200 million. That means value destruction for shareholders. So this is a risky investment, Tempus AI. Especially, you don't know exactly how their proprietary model will perform in the future. Your bet, if you invest in this company, you bet on this AI model, their own AI model. Whether it can get better than those general purpose models or other models that may arrive from other healthcare companies. So invest in this company, yes, they have room to grow. There is no doubt for that. But also other companies can grow, can go into that industry. So to answer the question if Tempus AI is a great investment, the answer is here. No. It's not a great investment. Especially at the current market cap of 10 billion. The risk is too high. Now, if you want better investment ideas with low risk and high returns, where those businesses have an advantage over the competition, then you can go to my profile and press join. And there you have access to my portfolio and see exactly every transaction I do. So if you want better returns, make more money, go to my profile and press join. And if you have other questions about this company, please let me know in the comments.